10 Cybercabs, no driver, 1 test track, June 22nd. Not 10 prototype shells being pushed by engineers. Not 10 remote-controlled demo units for a press event. 10 production Cybercabs, vehicles with EPA clearance, no steering wheels, no pedals, driving in coordinated formation, rehearsing autonomous pickup and drop-off sequences at Giga, Texas, while over 100 more waited on the lot. And when Waymo's executives saw the footage, a company that spent years fighting Washington for permission to scale past 2,500 vehicles per year, they went quiet, because Tesla just confirmed something Waymo cannot match. There is no federal production cap on the Cybercab, none. Tesla designed it to need no exemption, no waiver, no permission from Congress. Lars Moravy, Tesla's VP of Vehicle Engineering, was asked directly if the 2,500 vehicle limit applies to Cybercab. His answer was one word: no. But here is the part that changes how you read all of it. The software still crashes 4 times more often than a human driver. 3 senior Cybercab leaders quietly left Tesla the same month production started, and Elon Musk, on the very earnings call he announced the launch, described a system that sometimes gets too scared to move. Tesla is building hundreds of these cars every week anyway, and what that tells you about what is really happening inside this program is something far more complicated than any convoy footage suggests. Stay to the end, because by the time this video is over, you will know exactly what Tesla still needs to solve and why 3.5 million Uber and Lyft drivers may be running out of time to figure out what comes next. 1 year ago, Tesla launched its Robotaxi service in Austin, Texas. The cars were Model Is, there were human safety monitors in the passenger seat, and the ride's $4.20 flat, a number Tesla chose on purpose, quietly, for reasons nobody fully explained. The launch drew millions of views and federal attention. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration opened an investigation the very next day. That was June 2025. This is June 2026. On June 22nd, 2 days ago, an aerial observer named Joe Techtmeyer filmed something over Giga, Texas that had never been seen before. 10 Cybercabs, no steering wheels, no drivers, moving together in formation on the factory test track. Not 1, not 2, 10. According to Baysonor's coverage of the footage, that is the largest group of Cybercabs ever observed operating simultaneously on that track. And what they were doing is not random driving. They were rehearsing pickup sequences, drop-off sequences, coordinated autonomous dispatch, the core operational loop of a commercial robotaxi fleet. That is not a test, that is a rehearsal. And there is more sitting on that lot than 10 cars. According to tracking by Baysonor as of June 22nd, over 100 Cybercab units are currently on site at Giga, Texas. Not prototypes, not concept vehicles. Production units, cleared for sale and operation in the United States. The EPA issued Tesla its Certificate of Conformity on May 26th, with an official introduction into commerce date of May 29th. The car exists, the paperwork is signed, the units are there. What has not happened yet is the launch. Tesla is targeting active fleet service as early as July 2026. With August cited as the more conservative estimate. That is weeks away, not quarters, not years. To understand why this matters more than any Cybercab story you have seen before, you need to understand one thing that almost no one is talking about. Because the convoy footage and the unit count are not the real story. The real story is what Tesla quietly removed as a ceiling, and what that means for every ride-hailing company operating in America right now. But to get there, you need to see what Tesla built into the Cybercab that its competitors cannot replicate, and why one single-word answer from a Tesla engineer may have just changed the entire autonomous vehicle industry. The Cybercab is not a modified Model Y. It is a clean-sheet design. 2 seats, no steering wheel, no pedals, butterfly doors that open upward automatically with no handles, a steer-by-wire system. And running underneath all of it, Tesla's AI5 chip, Hardware 5, the same architecture powering full self-driving, but this time without a human backup. The manufacturing process is unlike anything Tesla has built before. On Tesla's Q1 2026 earnings call, Elon Musk said, "Whenever you have a new product with a completely new supply chain, new everything, it's always a stretched-out S-curve. You should expect that initial production of Cybercab and Semi will be very slow, but then ramping up and going kind of exponential towards the end of the year." That was April 23rd. Production targets at Giga, Texas are currently in the hundreds of units per week. According to Baysonor's tracking, the ramp Musk described is already underway. Now here is the detail that separates Cybercab from every other autonomous vehicle program in American history. Every company that has deployed a Robotaxi, Waymo, Cruise, every single one, needed a federal exemption to do it. NHTSA's exemption process exists because autonomous vehicles do not meet all federal motor vehicle safety standards as written. The cap on those exemptions, 2,500 units per year, that ceiling has throttled every competitor's ability to scale. Tesla took a different path. When Tesla's VP of Vehicle Engineering, Lars Moravy, was asked directly on X whether the 2,500 vehicle federal cap applies to the Cybercab, his answer was one word: no. According to Electrek's coverage of the Q1 2026 earnings call, Tesla designed the Cybercab from the ground up to comply with all existing federal motor vehicle safety standards. No waiver needed, no exemption required. Congress is currently debating the SELF Drive Act, which would raise that cap from 2,500 to 90,000 units annually. If it passes, it would be a significant unlock for Waymo and others. For Tesla, that debate is irrelevant. There is no legal ceiling on how many Cybercabs Tesla can produce and deploy. Whatever the factory can output, picture a gold-colored Cybercab pulling up to a curb in Austin. The butterfly door swings open. No one gets out, no one gets in. The car waits exactly 8 seconds, then drives away, smooth, unhurried, without a single human being involved. That footage already exists. Tesla posted it, and something about watching it, the normalcy of it, the quiet, is more unsettling than any dramatic demo. Both a Cybercab and a Cybertruck have now been spotted on public roads fitted with specialized Robotaxi validation hardware mounted on their roofs. According to Bazenor's June 22 report, Tesla is not just testing the Cybercab, it is testing an entire multi-vehicle autonomous fleet architecture. And Musk, at the 2025 annual shareholder meeting, said something about Waymo that landed differently than most people realized at the time. I'd like to thank Waymo for paving the regulatory path. I think Tesla will be able to deploy all the Cybercabs that we produce. He did not say some, he did not say most, all. But here is where the story stops being about a car and starts being about something with a much larger consequence. Because not everything Tesla has built is working the way it needs to. And what happens if it launches anyway is the question no one is answering out loud. There is a number Tesla has not been able to hide. According to Electrek's coverage of Tesla's Q1 2026 earnings call, the current supervised Tesla Robotaxi fleet crashes at a rate of 1 incident per 57,000 miles. The US human driver benchmark is 1 crash per 229,000 miles. That is 4 times worse than a human. Now hold that number in your mind and look at the Cybercab again. No steering wheel, no pedals, no way for anyone sitting inside to intervene. If the software makes a mistake, there is no override. The passenger has no control over what happens next. On that same earnings call, Musk acknowledged the software still has real problems. According to Electrek's reporting, he described situations where cars get what he called scared to move, and others where the system gets stuck in what he referred to as infinite loops. Those are not edge cases. Those are patterns Musk named on a public earnings call in April 2026, while Cybercab production was already underway. And then there is this. Between February and March of this year, 3 senior Cybercab leaders left Tesla. Victor Nichita, the vehicle program manager, departed days after the first production unit rolled off the line. Thomas Dmytryk, who oversaw OTA software and ride-hailing infrastructure, and had been at Tesla for 11 years, followed. Mark Lupke, the assembly leader, left in March. According to Electrek, all 3 departed within weeks of each other, at the exact moment the program was supposed to be proving itself. That is the tension Tesla has not resolved. Here is the twist, and it changes how you read everything above. Tesla does not need the software to be perfect before it launches. It does not need regulatory approval beyond what it already has. It does not need a federal waiver. It does not need Congress to act. The EPA paperwork is signed. The units are on the lot. The legal ceiling does not exist. Every other robotaxi company spent years asking for permission to scale. Tesla did not have to ask, which means the constraint is not legal. The constraint is not manufacturing. The only thing standing between the Cybercab and a full commercial fleet launch is whether the software reaches a reliability threshold Tesla considers acceptable, on Tesla's own timeline by Tesla's own definition. That is the point of no return, not the convoy, not the EPA cert. The moment Tesla crossed from trying to get permission to deciding when to go on its own terms, Now think about what that means for 3.5 million people in the United States who currently drive for Uber and Lyft. Not at some hypothetical future date, not in the science fiction version of this story. If Tesla hits its July target and Cybercab runs reliably, those drivers are looking at the first wave of the technology that changes their math permanently. According to MotorWatt's analysis of Tesla's cost projections, the Cybercab is targeting a long-term cost per mile of around 20 cents. Uber and Lyft rides today cost $2 to $3 per mile. That gap does not close gradually, it breaks. Somewhere in Austin right now, a gold Cybercab is running a route, and someone is deciding whether to get in. That decision, multiplied by millions, is the only variable left. Here is where Cybercab stands as of June 22, 26. 10 units in convoy, 100 on the lot, EPA clearance signed, fleet launch targeting July, crash rate 4 times worse than a human driver, 3 senior leaders gone, and a program that legally cannot be stopped by anyone except Tesla itself. All of that is true at the same time. What Tesla has built is a vehicle that is physically ready and legally cleared, with software that is not yet where it needs to be. The point of no return was not the convoy. It was the day Tesla decided to build a car with no steering wheel at all, because that decision made turning back impossible. One question before you go, and I want a real answer in the comments. If Tesla launches Cybercab fleet service in July and the ride is available in your city, do you get in, first adopter, wait and see, or not until someone else goes first and lives to tell about it? The answer most people give will tell you more about the future of this technology than any earnings call.